children of believing parents should be marked by willing obedience, whereas children of unbelieving parents are marked by disobedience. And I'll just give you two verses for us to consider. Romans chapter 1, 29 and 30 says this: they were filled with all manner of unrighteousness, evil, covetousness, malice. They were full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, maliciousness. They are gossips, slanderers, haters of God, insolent, haughty, boastful, inventors of evil, disobedient to parents, foolish, faithless, heartless, and ruthless. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1, but understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty, for people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy. That is the characteristic of a child who has not been trained in the Lord, who has not been taught the ways of the Lord. Now, you could say, Edwin, well, I trained my child in the Lord, and that's the lifestyle that they live. Maybe you're watching or maybe you're here, and that's the lifestyle they live. That may be the case, but brothers and sisters, that's not the rule. That's the exception. Now, that doesn't mean that because our children are born in a Christian home that makes them Christians. No, they need Christ. They need to turn to Christ. However, as parents, we're training them up in the way they should go, not the other way around. And when we teach them by way of family devotions, by way of follow-up conversations about what pleases the Lord and what doesn't please the Lord in his sovereignty uses that oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, for that to be the means to bring them to faith in Christ. And so we see that children of believing parents should be different. And by the way, this may be something that people disagree with. I stand firm on this. If someone's a minister of the gospel and their home is not in order and they have rebellious children, though he be a gifted man, he ought to step down. He should step down because his children, and Paul actually says this in Timothy, is that if he can't manage his household, how can he manage the household of God? And sure, we can think of many instances and nuances, but as a principle, if the children of believing parents are running rampant, it's better for us to step back and get our house in order than to serve on boards and in committees and you name it. And so we see Proverbs 22, I referenced this a moment ago, verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. This isn't a guarantee. This isn't a guarantee from God that if you do this, your children are going to walk in the ways of the Lord, but it's a principle. The principle is if you train your children up in the way they should go, when they're old, they will not depart from the faith. As parents, we should not let our children train us up in the way that they want to go, but rather we should train them up in the way they should go. This type of thinking where children are kind of training their parents in the way they should go is what we see take place in our culture today. And I want to give you a book recommendation here at the end. But this type of thinking is a huge reason why we have what is known as the transgender craze. And what is that? That's what's taking place in our day, where parents don't want to hurt their children, where parents don't want to hurt their children. And so when a daughter comes to her parents and says, Mom and Dad, I feel like I'm a boy trapped in a woman's body, the parent is then pressured into saying or to believing that it is better for them to have, and they're told this through social media, they're told this through different professionals and the experts, that it's better for you as a parent to have a living daughter than a dead son. And so because of that, then go ahead and go through with this sex change, right? Remove your breast, have a top surgery. Remove your genitals. Take these hormones that will transform your body at the age of 12, at the age of 8. And parents, because they're pressured into thinking that if they don't do this, their child is going to commit suicide, they acquiesce. And I get it. There's all kinds of stories and scenarios. But brothers and sisters, those parents will stand before God one day. And God will say, that's not how it's supposed to be. I gave those children to you for you to be a parent to them, not for them to be a parent to you.